I don't know about you, but I am getting pretty exhausted talking about politics, thinking about politics, saying names like Trump, Biden, Harris more than I say my own name. And when it comes to the news, I feel like that's all I hear about. Aside from crime, we hear about politics. So I decided to take a look beyond the headlines and look for some other stories that have nothing to do with anything we've been hearing for the past couple months. One story that caught my eye this week that happened in Chicago, an Oscar Mayer Wienermobile got into a crash. That's right. The driver of this Wienermobile took a hard turn and he made the giant dog roll over. The driver of this Wienermobile did not sustain any major injuries, but unfortunately, there was some visible damage to his wiener. And at an aquarium in North Carolina, a pregnant stingray, who, by the way, got pregnant without the help of a male counterpart, has passed away. Now, I know you're thinking two things. First, why are you telling me this? Well, the reason I'm telling you this is because I had to read this article and I don't want to sit with it by myself, so I'm giving it to all of you. Second thing you're thinking is how on earth did this female stingray get pregnant if there was no interaction with a male? I mean, perhaps you're not thinking that at all, but I'm going to tell you anyway. This stingray had a rare asexual reproductive disease called parothenol. No, it was called parthenogenesis. That's what it was. No, it was called parthenogenesis. That's it. Third time's a charm. Parthenogenesis. What is that? It's a very long word that I apparently cannot pronounce. It is also some sort of reproductive disorder where an unfertilized egg can create an offspring. The more you know. Okay, now let's go over to the other side of the globe in Australia. There was a tattoo expo in Brisbane where there is a woman named Amber Luke who was dubbed the most tattooed woman in Australia. She also goes by the name Blue Eyed White Dragon. This woman has over 250 tattoos all over her body, and she shared a little anecdote with the attendees at this expo regarding her tattooed eyeballs. That's right. She tattooed her actual eyeballs and she went blind for 3 weeks, but she wanted to note to anybody who is considering getting their eyeballs tattooed that this is not normal. You don't normally go blind or, quote, feel like you have shards of glass in your eyes because when done right, the procedure is completely painless. Well, thank you, Amber, for that little tidbit. I will be sure to take that into consideration the next time I never consider getting my eyeballs tattooed. There was a new Supreme Court ruling that was handed down this week, but that would be the Supreme Court in the state of Ohio. The ruling being that you cannot expect boneless chicken wings to not have bones. And no, I'm not kidding. Why did they make this ruling? Because a man by the name of Michael Bruckheimer was dining with friends, ordered boneless chicken wings, and guess what? He swallowed a bone, but unbeknownst to him, he just thought it was a tough piece of chicken. Well, a couple days later, he gets a fever. Turns out it was a very thin bone that actually lacerated his esophagus and he got an infection. So what did he do? That's right, he sued the restaurant. And it turns out that lawsuit has been thrown out. The Supreme Court ruled 4-3. You cannot have the expectation of having no bones in chicken, even if the menu says they are boneless chicken wings, because everybody knows that, I don't know, chickens have bones. And they doubled down, actually, they sort of tripled down on what they said by saying that when you order chicken wings, you don't actually think that you're eating wings. And when you order chicken fingers, you don't expect that you're eating fingers. Therefore, you should not expect boneless chicken wings to not have bones from time to time. If you think that sounds a little odd, you're not the only one, because the dissenting justice called that reasoning, and I want to get this right, utter Jabberwocky. I don't know if that's a legal term. I don't know if that's what they teach in law school. I didn't go to law school, but it doesn't sound like I missed much. I think I learned why some people just talk about the weather. I went on a crusade to find stories that didn't involve politics, and I just ended up with utter jabberwocky.